This is wonderful to meet all of you via Zoom. Um, First, before we're going to talk about the festival you can participate in, let me introduce you a little bit about myself and why I founded Lumi Voce, and then show you a little bit last year what we did in the festival with some of the winning artworks. Um, I will also share with you a little bit about my own production when I sang, when I produce soundtracks, and those are the tracks we're also going to be using in the festival. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour of my life. How does that sound? Give me a thumb up or something. Okay, good. You can raise your hand. Let me know that you like this idea. Okay, good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so all right, let me get the technology going. So this is music was very important for me. I grew up in China during the China's Cultural Revolution, and we were sent to the countryside for hard labor, and that's me when I was young. And this is me learning piano. Actually, my piano was on a brick bed in the country, but it's very important because at that time we hardly had anything to eat, and so music was very important to all of us. And this is my dog, and her name is Tiger. So I always loved the animals growing up. Now, later on, many years later, I started to perform as a pianist and as a soprano. This is the Eastman School of Music in America, where I got my doctorate. And this is when I was performing in the French May in Hong Kong a few years ago. So I have performed in US, in Europe, and also in Asia. And I always loved traveling. So during my travels, I met a lot of different wildlife. This photo is her name is George Song, as in the French author, and she loved to eat croissant. This was in Seychelles, and I also was very fortunate to hear whales sing in the deep sea, and the sound is absolutely beautiful, really touched my heart. I also met two elephants in Thailand. Those two sisters were very kind to one another. One of them were sick. The other one stayed by her side 24/7 and kept her company. And so that they can, lean on each other to sleep. So I was very, very touched by their compassion. So in all my learnings, travels, I learned that, we have, since humans appeared on Earth, we really destroyed a lot of wilderness, and 77%, and 10% of that was from 1990, so very recent. So I feel like we need to really take urgent action. So this is a scenario. We only got one planet, and if we continue the same trajectory, we will end up not having a planet at all. We will destroy it. So what we need to do is really to consciously help the planet. So how do we do that? Well, let me give you a little bit more scenario. In the last 100 years, we killed 97% elephants, and we lost 65% of global wildlife in the last 45 years. What does that mean? If you think about it, today we have more than 100 people, right? 100 students participating in this. Well, 97%, meaning 97 out of 100 that were killed. So it's terrible. And in the next 10 years, we may be losing 1 million species. Um, and all of these beautiful wildlife is critically endangered. I mean, I really want to protect them. I'm sure you do too. And that's why I founded Lumi Voce, to give a voice for the wild. I want to give my voice to the wild, and I hope that others will join me as well. We wanted to, I mean, there's one way of speaking for wildlife, and I really wanted uh, for for us to use music, stories, and the arts, and then to really engage. So why do you think we choose music? Well, because music can be wonderful. I can show you a little bit about a TED talk that talks about music's effect on the brain.
Did you know that every time musicians pick up their instruments, there are fireworks going off all over their brain?
Tech, technology issues here. Okay, so let's try it again.
Did you know that every time musicians pick up their instruments, there are fireworks going off all over their brain? On the outside, they may look calm and focused, reading the music and making the precise and practiced movements required. But inside their brains, there's a party going on. How do we know this? Well, in the last few decades, neuroscientists have made enormous breakthroughs in understanding how our brains work by monitoring them in real time with instruments like fMRI and PET scanners. When people are hooked up to these machines, tasks such as reading or doing math problems each have corresponding areas of the brain where activity can be observed. But when researchers got the participants to listen to music, they saw fireworks. Multiple areas of their brains were lighting up at once as they processed the sound, took it apart to understand elements like melody and rhythm, and then put it all back together into unified musical experience. And our brains do all this work in the split second between when we first hear the music and when our foot starts to tap along. But when scientists turned from observing the brains of music listeners to those of musicians, the little backyard fireworks became a jubilee. It turns out that while listening to music engages the brain in some pretty interesting activities, playing music is the brain's equivalent of a full body workout. The neuroscientists saw multiple areas of the brain light up, simultaneously processing different information in intricate, interrelated, and astonishingly fast sequences. But what is it about making music that sets the brain alight? The research is still fairly new, but neuroscientists have a pretty good idea. Playing a musical instrument engages practically every area of the brain at once, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices. And as with any other workout, disciplined, structured practice in playing music strengthens those brain functions, allowing us to apply that strength to other activities. The most obvious difference between listening to music and playing it is that the latter requires fine motor skills, which are controlled in both hemispheres of the brain. It also combines the linguistic and mathematical precision in which the left hemisphere is more involved with the novel and creative content that the right excels in. For these reasons, playing music has been found to increase the volume and activity in the brain's corpus callosum, the bridge between the two hemispheres, allowing messages to get across the brain faster and through more diverse routes. This may allow musicians to solve problems more effectively and creatively in both academic and social settings. Because making music also involves crafting and understanding its emotional content and message, musicians often have higher levels of executive function, a category of interlinked tasks that includes planning, strategizing, and attention to detail, and requires simultaneous analysis of both cognitive and emotional aspects. This ability also has an impact on how our memory systems work. And indeed, musicians exhibit enhanced memory functions, creating, storing, and retrieving memories more quickly and efficiently.
Okay, So I wanted to stop that because this is such a great, you know, great video talk about how music really works on our brain. And that's exactly why that music, it's so wonderful that it can really engage all parts of brain. And it also, it's a great fun because, when we use music, we can connect with both hearts and mind. And science informs, but music inspires people to get involved in conservation, and music can make it really, really amazing. So music really is a great way for us to express ourselves and also engage others. So we have been making music tracks because of that and pair them with visual. We have made 3 music tracks, and I want to share with you one where I sang and I helped to produce. So this is one called Lingxi, Breath of Life. And this is me singing.
Ying Ying, we can't hear the volume at the moment. Is there volume? Oh, now we can. Oh, it went off again.
Okay, it seems like there's no sound. Yeah. Okay, let's try it again. Issue. Let's try it again. Can you hear now?
No.
I think you have to press share computer sound.
Do you know where the share computer sound button is, Seal?
You have to go to more
Yes.
on the top.
Yeah, like the 3 dots.
Sorry. So where
Is it in the top under view options?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you know where I told you to go before with the drop down menu?
yeah.
It should be there.
Um
Share
hmm.
sound.
Share
But usually, if there was sound, it will say mute sound. Because you can mute the sound if you want. But I don't think you're sharing any sound.
She's not.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
The other video worked though. That's the weird thing.
Yes. Maybe let me see. Maybe I can share from my desktop or let me share from YouTube. Maybe.
Yeah.
I know why. I know why is that because the sharing sound is coming from the computer and then coming in your microphone.
Okay,
Okay.
so well, I've embedded both of them into but I'm not sure why that one didn't work. But let's see. Sorry.
That's okay. Maybe we can try on YouTube.
Yeah, let's try on YouTube. So let me share my screen again. Can you see?
We can't see the screen. No.
Interesting.
I only see a slideshow, like I only see a PowerPoint with
Oh,
black.
okay. So let me stop share and let me share again.
Yeah.
Of my screen. Let me share screen. Okay, here we go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, can you hear?
No.
Hold on. The sound comes on very soon.
Oh, I think we can hear it now.
I hear it now.
We could hear it. Now we can't again.
Can you put the link on chat?
Okay. How about Kathy? I'll send you the. Allison, let me send you the link. Maybe you can share.
Yeah, I can share it. Let's try that.
There we go. That's the YouTube.
Okay. And then did you just share in chat?
Yeah.
Can open that.
I didn't get the chat one. Let me see here.
Oh, sorry. Let me send to everyone instead of.
There we go. Okay. And let me just share my screen.
Oh, to see all of your faces.
Okay. All right. Hopefully this works. Thank you. Can we hear it?
Yeah.
Yes. It's so loud. It's so loud.
Put down your volume.
it. So that's one of the music videos that I sang, I helped produce. You can see it can be very beautiful, very powerful. Yeah. So let me share my screen again. So that's one of the key reasons why we picked music. I'm sure there are many great musicians in this group, right? We also picked a story because stories are wonderful. We have produced 3 wildlife stories and with beautiful illustrations. Um, but let me introduce you a little bit about what we did last year with Voices for the Planet Challenge, which you will be involved, and then I'll introduce a little bit about this year's themes. Okay, so this is last year because I wanted to show you a little bit what other kids did. Um, we had 5 categories last year. We have wildlife music videos, which is just like the one I showed you. Um, Kids made their own. And we have illustrations, we have stories, we have wildlife posters and original stories and illustrations. Let me show you, this is one by Sunny, who is actually primary year 3. He had really illustrated 20 pages of the stories that we have given to him. Like we have 3 stories. We've separated, we've give them the only the story, and then he illustrated. This is the winner for 2020. Absolutely just beautiful. And we also, the main thing is that what he said he had learned, not only he learned about wildlife, but he also influenced now his family to pay more attention to wildlife and getting his family to watch documentaries with him. So he's very, very happy about that. And this is winner of story, writing a story based on our illustrations. Again, 21 pages of writing, which is just fantastic. Very touching interpretation of what happened to baby rhino Lucky. So again, it's what Nicholas said, what he learned from the involvement in creating the story, that it's very inspiring. And we also have a lot of wildlife posters that students did. This is one, and here's another one. We have many beautiful wildlife posters as well. And this year we have all of these categories and a little bit more. So let me show you a little bit what we have. This year we have 5 art forms and 8 challenges. And these are, you can do music. Like me, you can sing. We have the 3 melodies that we produce. You can select one of them, or we have another recommended melody by an American composer, Harry Radcliffe, very beautiful. It's called Look Into Their Eyes. So you can select one of those songs to sing, or you can pick one song you really like, and then you sing and record it. For instance, any song about nature or wildlife would be great. You can do the writing of the stories. You can write your own story, or you can write our story. We will give you a worksheet. And drawing, you can do posters, or you can draw the illustration based on our story, or you can simply take a wildlife photography. You can go out there and take, one of the wildlife that you're interested in and send it in. Or you can make a music video like we did. And like, last year we had some amazing music videos, actually. You can use our materials, or you can create completely your own. So that's 5 art forms, and we will have, different schools to participate. We have then a a professional artist panel, and then we will have select all of these awards. And in March and April, we also have artists giving workshops in all of these 5 art forms. So that's, and then we will in November, we're planning to have a celebration of a festival where the winners, artworks, and selected finalists to be selected by the professional panel and to be exhibited in the festival. And we're working on that venue right now. And it's very exciting. We will have professional artists perform and also talk and interact with you as well. So I hope that you can use your own creativity and your artwork to influence others. For instance, influence schoolmates, influence your family, friends, and also the community, because the power of art really connects people in a very, very deeply personal way. And artists can really affect others with their art. And if you think about it, your art could make a huge impact. So for instance, if let's say 100, your class already have 100 people, right? And so if 100 participants, each person can maybe influence 2 classmates, schoolmates, and 2 family members, and 5 friends, and 5 people in the community. And that's already 10,000 people. And if we have 20 schools participate, we would be able to influence 200,000 people. And that is a very, very wonderful way of expressing through the arts and also make a social impact, and in a very personal way. And it's beautiful, inspiring as well. So I really hope that you can join me together and using arts to express and to speak for wildlife. And that's pretty much the end of my presentation. And now I want to open up